Grounding often gets conflated with PEMF technology. As you'll see in many descriptions from sellers of various different PEMF mats, the term grounding often starts getting used to describe their PEMF technology, and some consumers may think there are actual grounding properties. So we're going to test this with the 3 mats, and we can do this through a very simple grounding test where we use a voltmeter with the black lead connected to the ground, and the red lead we're going to hold on to ourselves. And to demonstrate this, we have our Healthy Wave grounding and shielding sheet, which is plugged in with a ground wire, so it will have very strong grounding properties here. So to do this test, we just hold the red lead, and we can look at our meter and see our base reading is about 1.8 to 1.9 volts. I'll actually use my other hand. And then when we do test the Healthy Wave grounding and shielding sheet, we do see a significant drop down to under 50 millivolts. So this is the type of effect we will get if we are getting a grounding effect from any of the PEMF mats. We're going to test the Calomat now for any grounding or possible anti-grounding effects it has. So we have our lovely assistant laying on the table here, holding our lead from the previous test example. And we can see our baseline is sitting at approximately 3.8 volts. And the Calomat is currently unplugged. So let's plug it in and turn on the controller here. And we have it on. It's starting to heat up. We haven't even turned on the PEMF yet. And you can see we're actually getting quite a large increase to almost 5.8 volts now. So the Calomat is not having any grounding effects, and it's actually having a little bit of anti-grounding effects from the increase in voltage we're measuring in our lovely assistant here. Now, we're going to test the Healthy Wave mat for any grounding or possible anti-grounding effects. We have our assistant laying down, holding the end of the lead here, and the mat is currently turned off. And our base reading, again, is around 3.2 volts. So now let's take the mat and let's plug it in. So it's plugged in, and we're going to turn it on and turn the heat on. And now with the heat on, you can see we've actually got a grounding effect now, and it's dropped from over 3.2 volts to less than 400 millivolts. So this is showing there is significant grounding properties when using a Healthy Wave mat. Finally, to test the higher dose mat for any grounding or anti-grounding effects. And again, we have our lovely assistant lying on the mat, holding the lead to our meter. And our base reading, it's sitting a little bit higher at about 4 volts. But let's see how this changes when we plug in the higher dose mat. So we will plug it in, and let's turn on the heat, which is already on the mats here. And what changes do we get? We can actually see there's an extremely large increase to 94 volts. So the higher dose is not having a grounding effect and is definitely having more of an anti-grounding effect when lying on it.